Hey, this is Joe. I want to thank you again for checking out my video. This is going to end up being part 2 of 2 for The Last Jedi spoiler review. I saw the film again on Christmas Eve, so I've seen it a total of 2 times. I think that's going to do it for me theatrically. I'll eventually get the Blu ray. Honestly, I'm just not in a real big rush to see it again. Um, my feelings on the movie have basically stayed the same. I don't love the movie and I don't hate it. It's a slight thumbs up, I guess. If I had to, if I had to pick, um, I'll get to my rating here in a second. I would just like to point out something I noticed on my second viewing that obviously I didn't catch the first time. Next time you watch the movie, when Luke enters the Resistance base and he walks over and sits down and talks to Leia, notice the crate he sits on actually moves. Yeah, I was just surprised it kind of fell through the editing process. I'm surprised it made it to the final film. I would think Ryan Johnson would just be better at that because he was so, insistent on, when Luke stepped across the surface of the planet, the red salt substance wasn't shown. So I was just surprised to see the crate actually move. I'm trying to get hashtag crate on crate trending, so probably won't, but I thought it was funny. Um, the ghost of Obi-Wan Kenobi in Return of the Jedi gets a lot of grief because why is a ghost setting down on a log? And in that film's defense, I would say that the log never moved. Anyway, again, I was really hoping to like this movie a lot more the second time. It just didn't. It's about the same. A lot of cool stuff in this movie, but a lot of stuff just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Um, I usually rate my movies out of a 10 scale, and I'll get to The Last Jedi's momentarily. At this time, I'd like to uh, rank and rate all 8 episodic films in the Star Wars universe. These are just the episodes. I'm not going to count Rogue One or the Clone Wars animated movie or those god awful Ewok movies from the 80s. These are just the first 8 episodes of Star Wars, from worst to best. Clocking in at number 8 is The Phantom Menace. A lot of bad stuff came out of the movie. Some cool stuff came out of it too. Bottom line, I would give it a 4 out of 10. And those 4 points are a lot to do with Darth Maul and the lightsaber duel of the Fates. Number 7, I would rank Attack of the Clones. I would give it a 5 out of 10. Again, some cool stuff. The last 20 minutes is really cool with the Battle of Geonosis. The Yoda lightsaber thing, I'm not a big opponent against. It is what it is. What bothers me more is the motion capture of Christopher Lee's Count Dooku. It's just obviously looked off. Anyway, at number 6 and at number 5, it's kind of a toss up, honestly. But at this time, I would give the number 6 film to Revenge of the Sith, and I would rank that 6 out of 10. A lot of cool stuff. The last 30 minutes or so is just so much awesome out of it, but there's a lot of garbage in the first half of the film, which really weighs it down. Number 5, with the same score of 6 out of 10, I would give to The Last Jedi. I really thought about this. It really pains me because I was looking forward to this film so much. But a lot of liberties were taken that I just don't agree with. A lot of cool stuff came out of it, a lot of stuff I just can't let go. So at number 5, I would give The Last Jedi a 6 out of 10. Number 4, the rankings shoot up dramatically. Number 4, at a 9.5 out of 10, I would give Return of the Jedi. And when I'm talking about the original films, I'm talking about the original cuts, not the special editions. Please keep that in mind. Just a classic, an absolute classic. I would absolutely give it a 9.5 out of 10. I don't hate the Ewoks, but it was a factor in that last battle. But still a 9.5. It's pretty good. Number 3, I would also give a 9.5 to The Force Awakens. A worthy sequel to the original trilogy. I left that theater absolutely loving that movie. I've seen it since probably around 20 times, and it's not perfect. The Rathtar scene always bugs me. Just looks like it shouldn't belong there. A couple of lines of dialogue I could do without. General Hux is such a weak character in my opinion. I just hate that character. But again, 9.5 is pretty good. Coming in at number 2 with a overall rating of 10 out of 10 is the original 1977 A New Hope. What can I say about that hadn't already been said? It's just a near perfect film. Love that movie. That leaves number 1, again, with a rating of 10 out of 10, 1980's The Empire Strikes Back. I've given a lot of 10 out of 10 to movies before, like A New Hope. I would also give that to Jurassic Park, The Matrix, Back to the Future, Toy Story 2. Several films I've given 10 out of 10. But to me, The Empire Strikes Back, again, 1980, is a perfect film. I can't find any faults in it whatsoever. I'm sure some of you could nitpick, but I just have no faults with it. I think the story is excellent. The characters get to branch off and do some cool stuff. The Battle of Hoth, Yoda's teachings, the betrayal at Bespin, the awesome Luke Vader fight, which to me is still my personal favorite lightsaber fight, and the revelation of Luke's heritage. To me, can there be a better Star Wars movie than Empire? No. No, I don't think there could be a better movie overall than Empire because, in my opinion, you cannot beat perfection. You can match it. There can be a Star Wars movie to be yet released that will be as good as Empire, but it won't beat Empire. And that kind of leads me into Episode 9. Again, from my first video, I'm glad that JJ is directing Episode 9. I think he'll give us a better conclusion to that trilogy. That being said, I'm glad that Rian Johnson is getting his own trilogy. He can create his new characters and take all the liberties he wants to with them. My problem with The Last Jedi is he just took one too many liberties with the characters that George Lucas created along with the characters that JJ and Kasdan created. So, again, bottom line for me is I cannot wait for Episode 9. I'm not going to speculate on what happens because The Last Jedi proved you can speculate all you want. You're probably not going to match what they have planned. So we'll see. I'll be there opening weekend. I'm just going in with much bigger reserves. So again, I would rate The Last Jedi at a 6 out of 10. I don't hate the film like a lot of people do, and unfortunately, I don't love it as much as others do. But I thank you again for taking the time to check out my video, and I will talk to you later.